Welcome back to another ukulele tutorial. Today's lesson is on the song Unknown Legend. This is a beautiful song and it only has 2 chords in it, so today's lesson is geared toward new beginners to learn these 2 chords and learn an easy basic downstrum pattern to play this song. You'll find the lyrics and the chords on screen as we move through this lesson, and you'll also find them in a PDF link down in the video description. I want to point out that I'm playing a tenor with a low G. If you have a high G on your instrument, you can follow this entire tutorial. Just keep in mind that your 4th string will be 1 octave higher than mine, so our chords will sound slightly different. The 2 chords in this song are G and C. Let's take a close look on how to play these 2 chords. Our first chord is G. And G is played with our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Our next chord is C, which is played on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. You can play C with either your ring finger or your pinky. You can practice transitioning back and forth between C and G, and see if you have a preference of playing your C chord with your ring finger or your pinky. Now that we've learned our G and C chords, let's take a look at how we're going to strum this song and how to play the verses and the chorus. Our strumming pattern is going to be an easy down strum on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep in mind that you're not necessarily going to stay on every chord for 4 beats or even multiples of 4. Sometimes you may stay on a chord for 2 beats, sometimes 6, sometimes 10 or more. So it's really important to keep this rhythm going throughout the song. And pay close attention to where the chords change over the lyrics. As you practice the strumming pattern, try to use the rotation of your wrist to give you power for your strumming, rather than moving your entire arm up and down. It should be a nice gentle rotation of your wrist that should feel fairly effortless. Looking at the first verse, we're starting on our G chord and we're going to stay on G until we get to the end of the 2nd line, at which point we'll change to our C chord. Here's how it looks to play lines 1 and 2. She used to work in a diner, never saw a woman look finer. I used to order just to watch her float across the floor. Our C chord carries over to line 3, so we're going to sing the words "She grew up in A" over the last 2 strums of our C chord. We'll change over to our G chord when we get to the word small, and we're going to stay on our G chord through the end of the verse. Here's how it sounds to sing through all 4 lines of the first verse. She used to work in a diner, never saw a woman look finer. I used to order just to watch her float across the floor. She grew up in a small town, never put her roots down. Daddy always kept moving, so she did too. As we move into the chorus, we're staying on our G chord until we get to the word desert. When we get to desert, we're changing to C for 2 down strums, and then back to G on the word highway. We'll stay on our G chord until we get to the word Harley, and once again we have 2 down strums on C, and then back to G on Davidson. We'll stay on our G chord on the 2nd line until we get to the word wind, where we change back to C, and then we stay on C until the end of line 2, when we get to the word life, when we go back to G. Here's how it sounds to play through the first 2 lines of the chorus. Well, somewhere on a desert highway, of the chorus, we'll stay on our G chord until we get to the word steal. Then we'll change over to our C chord for 2 down strums, and then back to G on the word rides. We'll stay on G until we get to the word breathes at the end of the line, and we'll stay on C into line 4 until we get to the word breathes once again when we change back to our G chord. Now I'll sing through the chorus starting from the 4th line of verse 1. Daddy always kept moving, so she did too. Well, somewhere on a desert highway, she rides a Harley Davidson, her long blonde hair flying in the wind. She's been running half her life, the chrome and steel she rides, colliding with the very air she breathes. The air she breathes. If you're enjoying this tutorial, please give this video a like, and thank you so much for subscribing. For the second verse, the chord changes are the same as the first verse. So we've carried over our G chord from the chorus. We're going to stay on G until we get to the end of the second line of the second verse on the word time, when we'll change over to C. Then on line 3, we'll change back to our G chord over the word to, and we'll stay on G for the rest of the verse. Here's how it sounds to play through verse 2. You know it ain't easy, you got to hold on. She was an unknown legend in her time. Now she's dressing 2 kids, looking for a magic kiss. She gets the faraway look in her eyes. Following verse 2, we have 2 more choruses that are played the same way as the first. So I'll play the last line of verse 2 into the next chorus so you can hear this transition. She gets the faraway look in her eyes. Well, somewhere on a desert highway, she rides a Harley Davidson, her long blonde hair flying in the wind. She's been running half her life, the chrome and steel she rides, colliding with the very air she breathes. The air she breathes. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Have fun playing Unknown Legend, and thank you for watching.